Hey everyone, it's your host here, Paladin Hansen, back at it again with another video. And in this video, I'll be doing an Orthodox book overview, kind of a quick summarized view of some of the Orthodox books, Orthodox Christian books that I do have. I'm a catechumen in the Orthodox Church, the Greek Orthodox Church in North America. And so we're going to check out some of the books that I bought, that I've been given even by some Orthodox Christians, on Orthodoxy and Orthodox Christianity. So I hope you guys like it and whatnot. This is going to be just very much kind of like a live stream, very slow. In this video as well, we'll also be doing an unboxing review. I have this package I just received from Newrome Press. It's a few books as well as some clothing, and so we're gonna open this up and see how it is and see what's inside, and we'll also be reviewing this large chunk of Orthodox books. Whoa, my table almost fell over because look at the stack of this. This stack is like 2 feet tall of just Orthodox Christian books that I have collected over the years, Septuagint, Bibles, stuff like that. As well as just a lot of patristic writings from St. John Chrysostom or commentaries on the Divine Liturgy and stuff like that. Diglots for Greek and English, prayer books. It is unfathomable how much I've actually invested in Orthodox books, but it's been a journey. It's been a journey, that's for sure. And so we're going to start doing some reviews today. Let's get to it. Now I think the first thing that I'm going to do is that I'm going to do the unboxing for the Newrome Press and the stuff I've just received, get that out of the box, and put that on the stack. This thing is like 2.5 feet tall. It's ridiculous. There's like 20 plus books here. Let me try to carry them all off the table, because this is crazy. Oh, ooh, buddy. Whoa. I got it, boys. Oh, yeah. There we go. Safe and sound. Whole stack of books. All right. Now we're going to do this right here. So this is a package I just got today from Newrome Press. Let me get a knife out. I'm going to choose my Spyderco. Very nice. It's Paraco Military 2. Highly recommend. It's better than those cheap Gerbers and stuff like that that don't really get the job all too done. But let me cut this open and re-angle the camera so you guys can see what I'm doing here. Now that you guys see me, I turned the camera around, and now you guys can see me open this box with my Spyderco. That should be good, because I did cut it a little bit open some more. There we go. That's very stuck on. Oh, I don't think I got anything there. Let's get this across. There we go. Ah, that's really stuck in there. Oh yeah. They really taped this one up.
A few moments later.
Sweet. Finally got this opened up. Woo! That's sexy. Let's see here. Newrome Press. Order number 8919. We'll move this stuff out of the way. Got some wrapping packages. We'll toss that. And here is the beanie I purchased. I bought one of their beanies. And so, let me put this on real quick. Let me just open that up. And toss that away. Put that in the trash later. That's cool. Look at that, guys. It's a neat little beanie. It has the Greek for Jesus' initials. And it also has a beautiful, beautiful cross. And I'm pretty sure this right here is the Russian, but for his initials, but I could be wrong about that. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, pretty cool. pretty cool. So I got this. I decided to get the white mesh with the black because I didn't want the red one because I thought it looked better. But that's just my personal preference. So sweet. I got this sweet wicked beanie. This cool awesome beanie. Let me put this on real quick. See how this looks. Oh yeah. Keeps the head right and warm. That's pretty nice. This will be good for the winter. It's mid-late November now, so that will be good for winter time. Now let's get to these books because I got the beanie out of the way. Alright, so now that we got that out of the way, let's get the first book out. Here we have the classic Orthodox Christian prayer book from Newrome Press. I've seen a lot of these book reviews from another channel called Orthodox Review. If you haven't checked out his channel, check it out. Because his channel is amazing and it introduced me to a lot of Orthodox Christian literature that I didn't even know existed. And publications I didn't know existed as well, like Newrome Press and whatnot, like Patmos Press and many other Christian publications like Holy Transfiguration Monastery and whatnot. Here we have the larger version of the Orthodox Christian prayer book. So I kind of wanted like a smaller size and then kind of the larger size. And then let's get this broken up box out of the way. And we got this. We got Made for Union by Saint Nicodemus of the Holy Mountain. He is a Greek saint and a patristic writer, a church father, you could say, in the 18th century. And he did some major works on the Philokalia, I'm pretty sure, but don't quote me on that. Again, I'm still learning all this Orthodox stuff. But I couldn't hold it in. I had to introduce you guys to just amazing Orthodox books that I've been using, prayer books. I just received the brand new Anthologion that just came out. This book is absolutely fantastic. I've been reading the translation from Ephraim Lash. It's a little bit different from my translation that I use in my Orthodox parish that I'm currently going to. And I've been a catechumen, I think, for about 2 months, but I've been studying Orthodoxy for well over 2 years. So, I decided to finally stop being a spiritually dead zombie and start going and attending Divine Liturgy and conversating with the priest and with other Orthodox Christians within the parish, instead of just online, which doesn't really fulfill my spiritual needs. It doesn't fulfill any Christian spiritual needs because we're meant to be in communion, just like God is in communion. Just like we're made for union, just like Saint Nicodemus in his book. And so we got the Christian prayer book I just got from Newrome Press, the Orthodox prayer book, and Saint Nicodemus Made for Union prayer book. Pretty nice. Let's unwrap all of these as well. So, gonna unwrap them real quick. Take our knife very gently. Just kind of make an incision, then tear across. Oh, looks like we need to make another incision. There we go. That's how you get her done, boys and girls. That's how you take it off. So we got this. Let's get the Nicodemus Made for Union book, which this cover is amazing. And I'll do, of course, more full in-depth reviews of these books. I just got them, It's more of a unboxing video and a showcasing of my Orthodox literature collection, my Orthodox library. But get this out of the way. I always hate how they wrap it extra tight. It makes it a little harder to get off. Alrighty, there we go. Very nice. Saint Nicodemus, Made for Holy Union. Wow. This is beautiful. I can't wait to read this. Look at the cover on this too, guys. And it has this beautiful, beautiful picture. of St. Nicodemus in his study room. Very nice. And last but not least, we have this large, full-size Orthodox Christian prayer book, which is the same as this one, as far as I'm aware. Just larger font and larger size. Alright, that should be enough to cut. There we go. Of course, it doesn't want to go around this little bend. Voila! Look at that. Boom. Ooh, and this has got a nice cloth bound, whereas this one's kind of like a faux leather, a fake imitation leather. And this one is a cloth, same as this, but more gloss bound. So it's a little bit more smooth. This one's a little bit more rough, but very much the same covers for these two prayer books. And then a faux leather for this imitation one. And of course, I still have this Anthologion. I just got this in 2 days ago. So very excited to also review this as well, because I have a bunch of prayer books now. I have so many prayer books, I don't know what to do with them all. Alright, let me get this stuff off the table. Got a lot of stuff here. And let's get this camera switched around so you guys can see it from a different angle. Alright, so here we have the Made for Union book from Newrome Press. Just again, first impressions, unboxing. Wow, this is just very nice quality. And I see a ribbon here. I think there's just one ribbon. See if we can undo it. Voila. Very thin blue ribbon. And I love the font and the paper quality on this. This is very thick paper. This has to be at least a 45 GSM or even higher. Probably even close to 100 GSM paper, because this is very thick paper, very good quality paper. I know this book is made in China, it's published in China, but whatever. Here we have the prayer book that we just received. Very nice. I can't wait to do full reviews on this, because I don't know about anything on them except for what I've seen from other reviewers. This is more of an unboxing. Here's Orthodox Christian prayer books, full size. Oh gosh, let's look at this right now. This is gonna be, wow. Wow, here's the Vesper service. The small compline. The salutations to the most holy Theotokos. I am opening up on every new section. Wow. And this is beautiful. Look at the font on this. This is at least, oh wow, here's a lot of the ribbons. And see those. You get 3 ribbons. Wow, that's a lot. Let's take these all out. I didn't even see those ribbons. That's a lot of ribbons right there. Quite beautiful. I love the purple. That's a very nice color. Very nice touch. We'll just place these, we'll place these just randomly throughout the Bible, or throughout the prayer book, which contains many Psalms from the Bible. And it contains Vespers, small compline, matins, as far as I'm aware. Hopefully it has matins. And we have it all. Sweet. So, kind of spaced them out a little bit. And let's see what's in here. So, alright, so let's zoom in here. We have the introduction, morning prayers, the service of Vespers, the small compline, the salutations to the Theotokos, prayers to our Lord Jesus Christ, the small paraclesis, prayers at mealtime, the paschal hours, the lesser hours, the first hour, third hour, sixth hour, ninth hour, the service of the midnight office, preparation for communion, thanksgiving after communion, the prayer of the heart, and a safeguard for the soul. Wow, and it keeps on going. We have, again, morning prayers, prayers for the departed, prayers for loved ones, prayers for spiritual guidance, prayers for travelers and for purity, an introduction. I mean, geez, this is beautiful. This is amazing. Oh, wow. And let me just back out a little bit. Here we have an icon of Saint Paisos of the Holy Mountain. Paisios, I can't even pronounce it right. I'm still learning Greek. But Saint Paisios of the Holy Mountain. That is very cool. And of course we have this beautiful cover here, very 70s looking, in my opinion. And the same kind of cover you find, almost the same kind, more cross-like, in this prayer book. You can see with the design layout. So very cool. And if my audio quality, guys, sounds kind of poor, it's because my audio broke, so I'm using basically the camera's audio, which isn't the best. Let's see, the Orthodox Small Christian Prayer Book. I'm gonna open up and see what's inside. Zoom in here. All right. Here we have a nice little icon of Christ, but you have the introduction, and it's the same thing. Morning prayers, service of Vespers, small compline. This is all just in a very much smaller format, but it's all of the same, right? They're pretty much the same as far as I'm aware. Just this one's a smaller size, and this one is the smaller size. It's not the travel size, but it is their normal size, and this one's their full size. So kind of interesting, kind of unique. And there's a bunch of ribbons in this one that I'm totally missing out on. Oh my gosh. There we go. It has 3 beautiful ribbons. Yellow, blue, and red. Very colorful. I like colorful ribbons. Whereas this St. Nicodemus book only has 1 stale ribbon. Sad. Sad. Deserves at least 3. This book deserves at least 3 ribbons right here. But let's look at the table of contents. All right. So we can see here from the table of contents, from the works by Saint Nicodemus of the Holy Mountain, and then we have a foreword from Reverend Archimandrite Maximos Constas. We also have motivations for writing, scope of intent, biographical note. And then we have really the bread and butter, where St. Nicodemus talks about the spiritual life and the locus of the church in the spiritual life. Or he talks about holy baptism and the importance of holy baptism. He talks about the importance of holy chrismation, which is what I'm doing. I'm baptized already, but I'm going into the church, so I'm getting chrismated. So this, from page 80 to pretty much page 104, is exactly for me, because I want to know all about holy chrismation, because that's going to be important for me. And I want to know more about the Divine Eucharist, of course, because coming from a background, we didn't really have the Eucharist, which is, yeah, not good. Not good at all. This is pretty awesome. Alright guys, we kind of just did a quick overview of the unboxing of some books that I got from Newrome Press, and they are fantastic. I can't wait to do fuller reviews on them. And so we got to keep moving though. I have a lot of books that I recommend and want to showcase to you guys. Most of these books I have read, so these ones I haven't yet, but now we're getting to the ones that I have been reading. This is some more books from Newrome Press. Here we have The Light of the World and The Mother of Light, or just Mother of the Light and The Light of the World prayer book. These prayer books from Newrome Press are gold, especially, well, if you're really trying to get into the Theotokos, this is the book right here. But for me, I am in love with this Light of the World prayer book, because it's really a whole laundry list of church fathers like Saint Ephraim the Syrian, Saint John Chrysostom, you have Genedarios Scalarios, you have Saint Isaac the Syrian. I mean, this is fantastic stuff. Saint Simeon of the Wondrous Mountain. These are all prayers from these ancient church fathers like Saint Gregory the Theologian and Saint John of Damascus, Saint Maximus the Confessor. It's just incredible. Saint Philotheos Kokinos, Saint Basil the Great. This is just something that you have to pick up, this book right here. And it's nice. I actually carry this with me everywhere. And when I'm abusing this one too much, I go right to this one. These prayer books are just very educational because they actually translate the ancient prayers that were done in the church from these church fathers, these patristic fathers as well. They translated them from the Greek or from the Latin or whatever they had it from, or Aramaic or whatever language they were using, the Syriac for some of them. And so they translated them into English. And so this has produced a fantastic quality book. I read these nonstop. Now I got, this prayer, this prayer book, and now I have the full-size prayer book, and now I got the Anthologion. It's game over. I'm ready to go. I got my prayer beads. I'm ready to go. I'm going to be doing the Jesus prayer like no tomorrow. It's going to be crazy. Because we are told to pray ceaselessly and to never stop praying. So I wanted to showcase the prayer books first because prayer always comes before theology. And so if you guys want to get associated with theology and all the books I'm showcasing now, you better get associated with some prayer books because you need to learn how to pray. And maybe get yourself a prayer rope or some prayer beads, and I'll be showcasing some of these prayer ropes or prayer beads. I don't have prayer ropes, but I have prayer beads. I prefer beads. Alright guys, I had to take a break right there and I just came back. I had to pick up some oranges I had dropped, or little tangerines, cuties, halos, whatever you want to call them, on the floor. But the other book that I had acquired that's very important is this Anthologion. Now, let me get my glasses on because this is going to blow you away with what this is. This is a Bible quality, I'm pretty sure it's made of bonded leather or it's made of sheepskin, lambskin. But this is amazing quality. This is like a Bible quality book. Let me just show you what is going on here because I have my glasses on. It has everything, right? Everything from introduction to the liturgy and how to even do the liturgy and what it is. Everything from calendar, feasts, to detailed guidelines. It has the Paschal tables. It has the way to read the Psalter and the lectionary. I mean, that's just for the introductions, Look at this. It has the regular offices, the Lenten offices. It has the service variables like the Octoikos. It has the general meneon, common hymns. It has the Lenten triodion. It has personal prayers like morning prayers, evening prayers, Thanksgiving prayers, meals for preparation, stuff like that. But it has the Vespers. It has Matins. It has the Akathist hymn. It has the little Paraclesis. It has absolutely everything. The Midnight Office. Everything. Everything is here. This is like 4 or 5 books. What I've heard from another reviewer, which I've mentioned previously, is this is like 4 or 5 books in one, and he's not joking because this has everything in it. It's absolutely fantastic. And so that's definitely something that you guys gotta pick up because this Anthologion is something else. I should have ordered 2 of these because this is like, I know I'm gonna abuse it so roughly, and like I have these nice beautiful Newrome Press books, right? I have these books, but they only do part of the job. But this one's more of a specialty novel. This one is very much of a specialty novel. I highly recommend this one. But this one only has part of what this has. And so this is really just something every English-speaking Orthodox Christian in the world needs to pick up because I think this is a game changer. And I think when I was doing my catechumen, starting my catechumen process, I was saying, to the treasury lady, I was like, the Orthodox need more publishing. They need better publishers, better book quality, and this is the path in the right direction. This is the path in the right direction. Alright guys, another book that I picked up is this. This is something I picked up actually at my local parish because it was so unique. I had actually never heard of this company, but it's called Patmos Press. I'm a catechumen in the Greek Orthodox Church in North America, here in Southern California. And so what I found at my local parish library was this beautiful book. It has the chi rho. It's Greek lettering. It's to represent the cross, Jesus Christ on the cross. It's the chi rho. And so it's very cool. It's in Greek and in English. So it's a diglot. And this is for Easter. So it's for like the whole Easter services. So this is actually has St. Basil's liturgy instead of St. John Chrysostom's liturgy. Usually it's St. John's Chrysostom's liturgy or something, or which is pretty much done throughout all the year. And then you have St. James's liturgy, which I think is done twice out of the year. And then St. Basil's, which is done, I think, 11 or so times, over 10 times out of the year. I'm learning everything, but I think if you're Orthodox, you're watching this and I'm not too off on the facts here, but this is St. Basil's is what you guys do on the Easter service. You guys do St. Basil's liturgy. This is actually fantastic. It's actually got art gilding. For a cheap book like this, for $35 for art gilding, I was pretty impressed to see this, and to have it be a diglot as well. I can learn not only the St. Basil's liturgy in Greek, but in English. And that is very, very cool. And basically the entire Easter service, which is like the biggest time of the year for Orthodox. From what I've heard, it's the craziest services, it's the grandest services. That's when the buildings are packed, and people are out the door. The bishop shows up. It's a big occasion, it's huge stuff during Easter services. As far as what I'm told, I've never experienced one, but I plan on it. Another book. Now we're getting down a kind of out of the prayer section. And these are all like kind of liturgical prayer books. We'll see some more of that probably, though, in the future. Is this book. This is absolutely incredible. This is let me zoom in here, guys. This is the Apostolic Fathers. This book right here, everybody needs to get this book. This is essentially the earliest writings, the earliest Christian writings outside of the New Testament. So we find books like 1st and 2nd Clement, the 7 letters of Ignatius, the letters of Polycarp, the martyrdom of Polycarp, right? We find the Didache. Everybody loves the Didache. We find the Shepherd of Hermas and the Epistle of Barnabas. In fact, the Epistle of Barnabas is my favorite work. And many, many other works in here that are very, very, very old. And this is a must-have book. This is actually a diglot as well. This is a bilingual Bible in Greek and in English. A 3rd edition by Michael W. Holmes. And I know a lot of Orthodox, a lot of Catholic, and a lot of Anglicans might have this in their book collection. But this is something you need to have. Okay, especially the Epistle of Barnabas is the work that I do on my channel, which is all about numbers being associated with letters, that the letters themselves are actually numbers, verses for mathematical equations like pi, natural logarithm. Well, in the Epistle of Barnabas, right, let me see if it zooms in. Probably won't, whatever. In the Epistle of Barnabas, it actually goes all into the Greek Septuagint side. I do the Hebrew Old Testament side of things and show the mathematical side, and then the Greek New Testament side of things and the mathematical side. This is showing the Septuagint and its mathematical miracles and how they're using isopsephy, right? They're using Greek letters for numbers and tying it in with prophecies with Jesus Christ. And straight up talks about it in the Epistle of Barnabas in this book. So my stuff is not just theolugomenon, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's not just one man's opinion. It's an apostolic writing, okay? And it's more aligned with an actual dogma, right? So when we're finding pi and natural logarithm and golden ratio and concepts of fine structure constant, right? The Summerfield's constant, and the plethora of arithmetic, right? Arithmos in Greek, geometry and stuff and whatnot, that is just perfect. You got to start asking yourself that this really is a book from God. The Bible, at least, this is just confirming it, and the earliest Christian writings using these mathematical miracles. So the Apostolic Fathers is a must-have. Okay, and you should read. My favorite is First Clement and the Epistle of Barnabas. Out of them all, I really like the letters of Saint Ignatius too. Saint Polycarp in his martyrdom, how a pigeon or a dove, not a pigeon, but a dove, literally. When he was martyred, flew out of him and stuff like that when he was being martyred. It's crazy stuff, crazy things that are just absolutely God-fearing. And it's just, hallelujah. We have these amazing saints and this amazing history, and we can go to these saints and we can learn so much from these ancient patristic and apostolic writings. Which leads us on to, again, more Greek. I try to get a Byzantine majority text, but I can't find one. They're really hard to find. Byzantine majority texts are ridiculous. I even talked to my parish priest, and he was like, yeah, good luck trying to find a physical copy. But he does admit that, it's something that the Greek Orthodox Church needs to work on, is providing more physical copies of the Greek New Testament that they use. A Byzantine majority text, the 1904 Constantinople Patriarchal text. And many of you might have this. It's a Trinitarian Bible Society. Trinitarian Bible Society. Many of you will have this book, right? Many of you will have this. This is the classic TR, Textus Receptus, very close to a Byzantine majority text. In fact, there's only 1,800 differences between the Byzantine majority text. I actually kind of classify it as an offshoot of a Byzantine majority text, and a lot of other people do. There's kind of Byzantine and Alexandrian archetypes of Greek New Testaments, but this was the closest one I could find to a Byzantine majority text. It's like $10, pick it up. All Greek New Testament. Another book that I have that I've finished reading quite a while back, which is more of on the Russian bent, right? Because it didn't really discuss the Greek bent, but it's kind of like an introduction book into Orthodoxy by Bishop Kallistos Ware. His original name, Timothy Ware, and there's the picture of him. This book was fantastic. I actually shed a few tears in this book when I was reading it, especially during chapter 12, the Church of God. It was a really good one. And also, this, again, was more bent for a history of the Russian church. It wasn't really history of the Greek church. It was just kind of an introduction to Eastern Orthodoxy. You could consider it a light catechesis book, but I wouldn't say it's a real catechesis book, because we're going to get some real catechesis books that I'm actually using for my catechesis classes. So, this is a really good catechesis book. This book right here so I'm part of the Greek Orthodox Church in North America because I love Greek, and so it was a no-brainer to go to the Greek Orthodox. And this is the book I'm using right now. It's by Anthony M. Coniaris. I've actually already read it all, but this is, catechesis books. There's so much information, you got to read it over and over and over again. And that's what you got to do with pretty much all books. Every time we go back to the gospel to reread a passage and memorize and stuff like that. This is a fantastic catechesis book. In fact, it was really basic, but for me, it was enough for me to just be in awe. I loved the part where I was learning about the sacraments, because to me, coming from a Protestant background, I didn't know anything about sacraments except for really baptism, right? And sacraments in Greek is mysterion, and hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, but it's where we get the word mystery. And so sacraments are the great mystery that God gives us in the church, and I wanted to have the fullness of those sacraments within the one holy Catholic and Apostolic Church, the Orthodox Church. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying, Billy Rays. Now, get this book. And the writer, Anthony Coniaris, hopefully I'm pronouncing your name right. You know, he has written so many books. He has written a plethora of so many books. So you can check him out and look him up. It's the Catechesis book that I was required to actually get for my class. So pretty cool. Now, what's also pretty cool is that there's some people that go to my church that are very, very intellectual, and they're actually well known within the Orthodox community. One gave me a book for free, which is Dr. Eve Tibbs. Her voice is angelic. She goes to my local parish, or I'm going to her local parish, more literally. I'm the catechumen. But this book blew me away. This is where I learned words like theolugomenon and hypostasis and the differences between essence and energies. And this book is a little bit more intermediate. I wouldn't say it's high intellectually advanced, but this is an intermediate level of learning Orthodox theology. And so this is really good. Okay. And like, I agree with the Nicene Creed and all of that, and how the Latins put in filioque, and I don't agree with filioque. Because even my Bible doesn't agree with filioque, right? I came from Bible believer side. So, when I realized who gave us the Bible was the Orthodox Church, I started to go away from Rome and the Western parts and start going to the original. And if I'm looking in two different spots, pardon. Another thing I got, another book I highly recommend is this book right here. This was given to me for free. This is Power of the Creed. Okay, this is basically, I didn't even know about the creed before coming into Orthodoxy. That's not good, and now one of the biggest strengths for my faith is the creed, because now I can just say, hey, to others, what is your creed? What is your, especially because I do apologetics to Muslims and polemics to Muslims. I'll ask them, what is your akida? What is your creed? And if they can't give me an answer, then I tell them my creed, because I have a creed, and it's been around for quite some time. So it's been around since 325, 381, you know what I mean? So it's been around for quite some time. Mark Naroth, or Naruth, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, Mark. Great guy. Very nice, very good writer. His writing is so fluent. It's like he's like doing like a dragon, like he's just doing voice speech, and it's coming off the tongue, because it's very fluent writing. And this is basically an entire just breakdown of the creed. And he's just going to break down the creed in every little section and every little tidbit. And this book right here will make you just fall in love with the creed and know the power of the creed. And he's not joking. He did a fantastic book. I read this book, I've 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 read this book. I mean, this is just, guys, this stuff is so good. It's so good. It's meat. It's meat for the body, right? For the soul, even. All right, so this table is getting stacked high. I got to show you guys this in a second. Another book I got from Newrome Press. Actually, before we do that, well, we have another book from Newrome Press. I've read this book as well. This book is another English-Greek diglot, another bilingual book. And this is St. John Chrysostom, right? Let me zoom in. St. John Chrysostom and the Jesus Prayer. Look at the quality of this faux leather. It's one of the nicest books I have, because this taught me the Jesus Prayer. Lord Jesus Christ, Son of God, have mercy on me, a sinner. It's ingrained in my brain. Like, it's something that I didn't know, such a simple prayer.
you need to learn how to pray before you do theology. Prayer always comes before theology. And so when you're learning how to master prayer, it's amazing. You know, my Orthodox priest told me that Orthodoxy teaches you the school of prayer. And in fact, the liturgy is a school of prayer. In the liturgy, there's over 114 quotations from the New Testament and 98 from the Old Testament spoken from throughout the entire divine liturgy. And so you're basically seeing over 212 odd verses or so of the Bible throughout the divine Orthodox liturgy. So we're not only, singing the liturgy, but we're chanting these ancient hymns and prayers to God, and where heaven and earth meet. This book will get you into that. Okay, this is the commentaries from the Divine Liturgy from the Church Fathers. Oh my gosh. You'll have St. Maximus the Confessor. Most of them are from St. John Chrysostom. But it's like, wow, this will blow you out of the park. This is something that you have to get. It's one of the greatest books I've ever read. For $30, it's something that you have to get. Basically, they'll break it down to where they'll do a little section of the liturgy, and then they'll have like 5 or 6 comments from the Church Fathers. And then they'll just break it down from the Church Fathers themselves. So it's not your opinion. The Church Fathers are doing it for you. And because, again, Christ has built his church. Now here's the Divine Liturgy book. Again, a beautiful faux leather, a fake imitation leather. It's like an imitation leather over board. It's definitely a hard bound. But a lot of books I see are doing this type of design layout, and I have to say it's actually quite appealing. And so it's a beautifully designed book. Again, Newrome Press. Let's see if it will zoom in. Newrome Press. But if you want to see this design layout, let me show you how it is. As you can see, it has the classic 70s style wallpaper design that Newrome Press likes to do. But it's very funny. Let's see here. Let's look at the table of contents and zoom in here on this table of contents. Now, as you guys can see here, we have an introduction to the Christian liturgy and the earliest liturgical prayers and the fruits of the Divine Liturgy and what really is the Divine Liturgy. And then we have the rite of the Kairos. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And then we have the service of preparation of the Eucharistic gifts, the vesting of the celebrants, the litany of peace and the antiphons, the entrance with the gospel and the sacred readings. All of these are broken down individually. Holy Communion, the diptychs, so hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, the Holy Anaphora. All of this, even down to the dismissal service, like I'm just looking at it now. This is just fantastic. Wow.
2 hours later.
My cat actually likes this book so much that she was actually chewing on one of these ribbons. But there's 2 beautiful ribbons in this book as well. And I want to show you guys this beautiful, beautiful gilding on the edge here. Absolute perfection. And so this is a great quality book by Hieromonk Gregorios. It's something that you all need to get. And then, of course, St. John Chrysostom and the teachings on the Jesus Prayer is mostly an introduction. Actually, probably one of the biggest introductions I've ever seen, half of the book. It's like 60 pages of introduction. But once you get to John Chrysostom's writing, you can see how it's a diglot, right? So it's in English and it's in Greek. And let's just read a passage. I beseech you, therefore, to force yourselves again. I say to you, to force your mind until death. This work requires much force. For the way is narrow and sorrowful that leads to the gate of life, and those who force their way will enter into it. For the kingdom of heaven suffers force, and those who use force take hold of it. All right, another book that I've read, which was fantastic. It taught me all about icons. This taught me about icons, iconography, and it goes over the icons at an Antiochian Orthodox church in Michigan, I'm pretty sure. It's St. Nicholas Orthodox Church in Michigan, if I'm mistaken. Hopefully I got the state right. But I know it's St. Nicholas Orthodox Church. This taught me all about different icons, the history of icons. This taught me about the beauty of types of icons. But this goes over an Orthodox church, St. Nicholas Orthodox Church in North America, right here in North America, and it goes over the icons that they showcase in the church, and then they explain the history of icons and iconography, and the importance of icons not only within the literature of the Bible, and how that we are icons of God, how Christ is the visible icon of the invisible God, right? The pictures, the paper quality was just amazing. Now, it comes in this dust cover, but you're gonna want to keep it on because this is one of the worst, roughest cloth-bound books I've ever had. It's like rougher than a cat's tongue. It's like sandpaper. Maybe you guys should have glossed that, but that's probably why they put the dust cover on. But the book here is amazing. This is just a fantastic book that we have in English, again, beyond the image. We're so blessed in the English language to have just a plethora of knowledge and wealth. But now, we're kind of winding down almost. We're kind of gone deep into this review. I have my glasses on because I'm reading so much. Now we're getting into the Bible. Here's the Orthodox Study Bible. Right, a lot of you guys might have this. A lot of you guys have seen reviews of this Bible. It's a fantastic Bible. I've had it for over a year. I don't personally read it, the New Testament, because it's a New King James Version. I really don't care for it. I just read the notes. I love reading the notes. I love reading just the basic notes of this Bible. A lot of Orthodox said they didn't like this book because it was too basic. But for me, Orthodox people understand. It led me to you. It led me to you. So it was basic enough to be simplistic. And what I liked about it was there was beautiful icons. Beautiful icons. I think this one is of, what is this, St. John the Forerunner? Yeah. I got it right. Sweet. And let me take it around. Here's Jesus Christ. The baptism of our Lord, Jesus Christ. If I don't crinkle my pages. So absolutely beautiful. I've had this book for a while. I usually just read it for the notes and to get edification for basic notes and just gleaning into the Septuagint as well. I like knowing that it's coming from a Septuagint, and it's a hybrid of a Hebrew Masoretic and a Septuagint, which a lot of people find at fault with as well because they wanted something that was just completely from the church, fresh start, and a lot of people didn't get that. I mean, they literally put a New King James Version as their New Testament offer. You know, I think that there's definitely better English translations, like the King James. Cough, cough. Here we have something that many Greek Orthodox or many Orthodox might have. Here's a Brenton English Greek Septuagint. And so a lot of you guys might have this one. Let me see if it zooms in. A lot of you guys might have this one. And this was a fantastic book. A little bit small for the print, but it is Greek and in English. And so this is something that's going to help you intellectually, knowing to be able to go back to the Greek Septuagint. And, of course, I showcased you guys earlier that Greek New Testament and a bunch of patristic writings in Greek and English. I don't think I showed you guys this earlier, the St. John Chrysostom book. It has Greek, and it has English in here. Very cool. So I have a bunch of Diglots. The Apostolic Fathers book is a Diglot. The Easter Paschal service. Bunch of stuff to help you learn Greek, okay? You need to learn your Greek. It's no excuse. Every Christian needs to learn Greek, and every Christian needs to learn Hebrew. I don't want any excuses. And Latin as well. Now the next book we got is this. The Net's English Septuagint. What I like is that more Septuagints are coming out and more versions of the Septuagint. And so this Net's English Septuagint is something that is going to be very helpful. I remember reading in the introduction, but I'm pretty sure the Net's English Septuagint is to be paired with the NRSV translation. Okay, so if you have a New Revised Standard Version, this is perfect for you to pair with it, and you can have this and the NRSV, and you are like, wow, I got it all, you know. And I know I think a lot of Catholic Bibles use the NRSV translation. So if you're going off more of the Latin side of things, right, with your Old Testament canon, well, here's the Orthodox version, and it pairs nicely with your New Revised Standard Version. All right, here's the last book we have. This is the Lexham English Septuagint. This book is probably the most popular book right now that, in my opinion, I think is much better in English. This one is a little bit, the wording is a little bit like, it wants to be too advanced for its own good, right? It wants to put in words that don't need to be changed, and they just want to sound smarter. That's what I'm feeling from this vibe. Whereas this is just more proper, simple English. And the Lexham is very popular right now. And so, because of it, I don't think the Nets is going to win out, to be honest. I think the Lexham has much potential. I forgot what I read in the introduction, but I'm pretty sure they're using an Alfred Ralph's Septuagint, or they're using a Brenton as well. And same for this one. These two are hybrids of Brenton and Ralph's typically. And the Brenton Septuagint, this was pretty cheap. This is like $30. I wanted to get Alfred Ralph's Greek Septuagint, but when I was looking online, it was around $80 for a 2-volume set. So it's pretty expensive. So I was like, well, it looks like I'm going with Brenton, and they're his $30 bilingual. But I think that's a really good deal. So that's what I recommend you guys to get. So I think I have quite a few books here. Let me change the camera around. Alrighty, now that you see the table arrayed out here, again, we have the Nets, a New English translation of the Septuagint. We have the Brenton. We have the Lexham. We have the classic OG Orthodox Study Bible from Thomas Nelson. A lot of you guys have this one. Probably got it on Amazon. I know Ancient Faith also is making the same printing of literally the same thing inside, just from Ancient Faith. And those are pretty much my 4 versions of the Septuagint. And I'll probably have to get this all out of the way. But yeah, these are my 4 versions of the Septuagint that I'm using, and I recommend, because they're the cheapest ones you can get. I'm not going to tell someone to buy a $80 2-volume set from Alfred Ralph's at christianbookstore.com. If I'm not buying it, I'm not going to tell you to get it. But if I'm buying it, I'm going to tell you to get it because it's worth it. Okay. And again, here's Eusebius and the history of Eusebius. Again, great works that you should pick up and get. I've read this. I haven't read all of it, but I have read about probably a third of this book, because it's just so much information. It's just so much information that and it's one of those books that you have to come back to and just read over and over and over again. And so this book is something that you have to come back to over and over and over and over again. And essentially all of these books are. You have to do that. The Orthodox Church, I read this one from beginning to end within probably a week. And this was a great read. More, again, as I said earlier, to the Russian side of things, on the Russian history of the church. But it really gives you appreciation for Orthodoxy. I mean, it's just a basic introduction and a classic book by Timothy Ware. This book has been out for over 50 years, actually, so since its first printing. And then we have Introducing the Orthodox Church, Its Faith and Life. This is again by Anthony Coniaris. This is what I'm using currently in my catechesis right now. Again, there is so much information here. One mediator, right? Jesus Christ. We have, explanations on what the narthex is. We have the interior of the Orthodox Church. How does that all work? The fruits of prayer, right? We're talking about union with God. We just went over the Saint Nicodemus book with the beginning of this video. 2 great movements of the soul, what we believe about prayer, the cause of morbidity, ancestral sin, and all of that instead of original sin. Hypostasis, the sacrament of holy unction, the last but not least, there is the Prophetologion, the Holy Apostle, and the Holy Gospel 3-part set from St. Ignatius Orthodox Press. I highly recommend this as well, that you get each of these books. Let me see if I can zoom out here so you can see the covers for these. Here's the Prophetologion. And we'll be doing fuller reviews of all of these. Here's the Holy Apostle. Right, very nice. Very nice. And then here's the Holy Gospel. This is absolutely beautiful. And let me get one more book to kind of get out. Earlier I kind of went over it. But the Anthologion, this book right here is something that is absolutely special. You have to pick up yourself an Anthologion. This has absolutely everything. So if we want to read inside here, if you guys can see, it has everything from the morning offices, the regular offices, right? So it has matins, and it has vespers, and it has the octoicos, and it has also as well the Meneon, the general Meneon, and the Lenten Triodion, right? It has the Paschal offices and the Pentecosterion. This has everything in the Orthodox Church. In fact, this is very equivalent to a Roman breviary, but this is the Orthodox version, so it's kind of an Orthodox breviary, but it's the Anthologion. So I highly recommend that you pick yourself up one of these, because it's a fantastic book, as well as getting maybe St. Ignatius, and this is from St. Ignatius Press, and maybe you should pick this up as well, the 3-part Gospel series. Again, prayer books to the Theotokos, Newrome Press, they do a really good job, and there's some other organizations like St. Vladimir's Press or Sebastian as well, and there's some other ones. But get yourself a New Testament, get yourself some patristic writings. Here's from St. John Chrysostom, and get yourself some liturgical texts, like from here's the Diglot, and so on and so forth. But I'm going to wrap this on up. It's been a while. I think I'm already pushing it, so yeah, have a good one. We'll do some more reviews and kind of more videos like this in the future. Take care. Have a good one. We'll see you next time. God bless, and Christos Anesti.